Hi everyone.
I had
okay, so for those who don't know me, I'm Nick Rowcliffe. I worked for many years in environmental affairs, but as my career's on pause, I've been putting quite a lot more time into local environmental issues. I'm a member of Transition Town Marlow and the Marlow Town Council Environmental Advisory Group. Why do we want to increase the number of trees in Marlow? There are many reasons, but one excellent summary can be found in the recent report of the government's Building Better, Building Beautiful Commission, and it goes like this. Put simply, green is good for us. The presence of greenery in the urban environment normally has a positive impact on our mental and our physical health. Street trees seem particularly important. They're associated with cleaner air, slower cars, fewer accidents. They provide shade in hot summers. And perhaps astonishingly, given the complexity of human life, street trees have a measurable effect on human health, even taking into account income, age, and education. I think that's something quite amazing. So what is ReLeaf Marlow? Well, it's a community project conceived last year in Marlow Town Council's Environmental Advisory Group, and which is run day to day by Transition Town Marlow. The project's objective is to increase the number of trees in Marlow. Currently, Marlow has a canopy cover of just under 19%. Many councils across the country are setting targets of 30% and even 40%. We believe we should have the same level of ambition for Marlow. ReLeaf Marlow's primary focus is on more trees along streets and in municipal open spaces. We're also in discussion with Red Kite, the social housing provider, which owns quite a lot of land in Marlow. In the longer term, I'd love to work with country landowners to get more trees into hedgerows. We're discussing whether and how to engage with private householders too. The way we work is a bit like Marlow Wombles. Just as with street litter management, tree planting and maintenance is a county council responsibility. Used to be district, but now county. Acting as a community partner, we can help the council to do more cheaply and with greater community engagement. ReLeaf Marlow can contribute at many points in the tree planting cycle, and I've listed out on the slide the practical action areas that ReLeaf Marlow has or can engage in. So much for the theory. Now for a brief summary of what we did last year and what we hope to do next year. So we launched last year, and our starting point was what became what I call the Great Marlow Tree Survey. A fantastic team of ReLeaf volunteers went out and recorded where there were trees already and where there were spaces for more on every street and every municipal open space in Marlow. Still, not every street in Marlow has been surveyed, yet we identified space for nearly 1,300 new trees. We were further buoyed last autumn when the Marlow and District Wine Circle very generously donated to ReLeaf Marlow the proceeds of its annual theatrical event. And we are indebted to fellow resident Jonathan Slack for organising that. After this, the learning curve became steeper. Planting street trees, it turns out, is neither simple nor cheap. And to many people's disappointment, most of the work is not in actually planting trees, but rather in negotiating with landowners to gain permissions and safety clearance. We began engaging Buckinghamshire Council, or more specifically Transport for Bucks, the agency that owns all highways land in Buckinghamshire, but we lost a lot of time here into the winter. Eventually we did successfully gain permission to plant about 80 street trees at 4 sites, but by this time we could no longer get hold of bare root saplings, which are cheaper because it was too late in the season, and then the COVID lockdown took effect, and that was that. But though we weren't ultimately successful in actually planting anything last year, there was an immense amount of learning, and I'm confident that we will be able to invite fellow Marlow residents out with wellies and spades to plant trees in significant numbers in the coming winter. Last year, we developed relationships with TFB and Bucks. This year, I've sought to establish a clearer basis of understanding with them, and I've asked for at least match funding. We've also started creating a list of target planting sites for winter 2020, and I hope to begin discussions with Bucks Council on that very soon. So that's all I've got to say. I'm happy to take questions, but thank you very much for listening.